12 days in on this cut. See, I'm starting to get some abs back. A little bit more separation, not quite as flat as I was. The reason I want to use this mirror, because you can actually see legs. I actually have some legs coming in. A little bit of cuts there too. But anyway, 12 days in, I'm gonna go downstairs, step on the scale, and see what I weigh. So one question I'm sure will come up is how the heck I lost 6 pounds in 12 days. In my experience, when you're first starting a diet, your first several pounds aren't actually tissue. It's usually intramuscular glycogen, water, and intestinal mass, actual food circulating in your stomach. So if you are on a diet, let's say you're eating X amount of food every single day to maintain or even gain, and then you drop that food, well, there's actually less food in your body, whether it's the intramuscular glycogen, like I said, or just the intestinal mass, the actual food that's in your stomach. So I was 204 when I started, I'm 198 now. I think at the end, if I'm right around 188 and close to 10% body fat at the end of my 8-week cut, I'll be pretty happy with that. I noticed that if I get lower than 10%, like single digit, it's like to get from 10% to 7%, I'm losing way more active tissue than to get from 13% to 10%. That's just my experience. Maybe it's because I can't lift as hard once I start getting lower and my calories are getting lower and I'm getting soft. But I noticed that to get to around 10%, 9%, somewhere around there, I feel good, I still look good, my weight's high and I'm strong. So I'm hoping at the end of this 8 weeks, I'm just under 190 pounds and I'm right around 9 to 11% body fat. I'm gonna cut in some B-roll, one of my personal training sessions I did with one of my coaches at my gym, and then I'll circulate other information throughout this video. If you've seen the first video, if this is your second time, you're watching episode 2, do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to the channel. We're consistently delivering content throughout this series as well as other videos that we're publishing, and I'm committed to growing this channel, so I'll see you in the B-roll. Alright, so I'm actually back in the chiropractic office at one of my gyms. And so you got that, got a adjustment table. But this is the only quiet point in my gym right now. So basically I just wanted to talk over why I still like to do one-on-one coaching, why I still like to do some personal training. Even though I've been lifting on my own for over a decade now, it has less to do with developing a program at this point, and it has more to do with just being able to push myself a little bit harder and do exercises that I don't normally do. So if you've been lifting for a long time, like I have, you notice you kind of pigeonhole yourself into certain exercises that you like and that you do all the time. Well, I notice if you have a coach or even a workout partner that likes things a little bit different than you like, you're going to have some novelty in your program, which might actually help you make some progress in certain areas that you haven't progressed in a very long time, or maybe ever. Also, I notice even if somebody isn't in your face, like screaming at you, let's go, let's go. If you have somebody just a little bit pushing you, or at least holding you accountable to each and every rep, each and every set to make sure it's clean, make sure you're getting them, it actually does push you a lot harder. I know it pushes me a lot harder. So I use this one-on-one coaching not because I necessarily need a program written for me. At this point, like I've been lifting for over a decade and I've been coaching people for 7 years now. I can develop a program, but it's just those other things, those other parts of training that often get neglected, especially when you've been training on your own for so long. So that's why I like to implement this one-on-one coaching, or at least a good workout partner every once in a while at least, again, to just push myself to that next level. That being said, I'm going to show you next my own workout, basically with no coaching, no group class, nothing like that. And I want to talk through what I'm actually doing when I'm working out on my own, why I've picked certain exercises, as well as the actual rep and set scheme and the weight progression that I use when I'm training one-on-one, and why I actually do that. So again, if you haven't liked the video already, what are you waiting for? Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into this workout. All right, so check it out. I kind of wanted to go over exactly what I'm doing when I'm squatting. So I wanted to show this entire first set. I'm doing front squats today. The reason I'm doing front squats is mainly because if I do a lot of low bar squatting, especially when my calories aren't exactly high, or at least not even at maintenance, it really beats the hell out of my shoulders, beats up my elbows to the point where it's tough for me to do upper body. So front squats, while it looks like it's hard on my wrist, doesn't really seem to bother my elbows and my shoulders as much as a low bar squat. So my first set, 275. I'm doing sets of 10. I do 4 sets. I usually start when I'm working out on my own, my first set being my heaviest set. Okay, so I still warm up to it, but at my first set is normally my heaviest. After that, what I'll do is I'll scale down by 10%. So again, that was set 1. We look at set 2, I went from 275 to 250. So I'm down about 10%. I notice if I train this way, I'm still able to get the heavier weights, which will keep me strong, but I also notice that I'm not really losing intensity throughout the workout. So sometimes if you're pressed for time, the best way to do it is start light and go heavy. Some people call them feeder sets. And I don't think that's a wrong way. Some people do straight sets. That's certainly not wrong either. But what I find for me, somebody who wants to be as strong as they can be under the barbell, sometimes starting heavier, going lighter keeps the intensity high while also hitting my upper threshold strength ability. So again, I just wanted to show the entire first set and the entire last set. This is again 10% down from my previous set. It looks like it's 200 pounds. But again, you can see the reps are moving smooth. That's what I'm looking for. Outside of the front squats, I also did a little bit of arms, some bis and tris, but again, I didn't want you to just watch me lift the entire time. So look, check it out. What's coming up next in this series? I want to get a little more granular when it comes to nutrition. I know a lot of people have questions about that. I've done videos about how to use MyFitnessPal. I'll make sure that I link that at the end of the video. But outside of that, I kind of wanted to get into the nuts and bolts and the strategy that I use, how I prep my meals. I think that'll help a lot of people. I'm gonna do that in the next episode. So look, if you've watched this episode, if you've seen any of my videos in the past, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, stay tuned for the next video, and I'll see you in the gym.